Ladies and gentlemen, there is a price for every great achievement, and that price, more often than not, is paid not in money, but in discipline, sacrifice, and unshakable commitment. You see, dreams do not come true merely because we want them to. Wishes are cheap. Everybody has them, but only a few are willing to do what it takes to claim them. The truth is simple. Big dreams demand big sacrifices. Look around you. Most people are living lives far below their potential. Not because they lack intelligence, not because they lack opportunity, but because they lack discipline. They refuse to delay pleasure, they seek comfort instead of growth, and they forget this eternal truth: you cannot grow and stay comfortable at the same time. Discipline is the bridge between thought and achievement. It is the ability to act when you do not feel like it. It is the decision to show up, day after day, when no one is watching, when no one is applauding, when the rewards seem distant and the effort feels heavy. The man or woman who conquers their own mind, who resists distraction, who chooses hard work over laziness, who chooses purpose over pleasure, that person holds the key to any door in this world. Your dream, whatever it may be, is not waiting for the perfect time. It is waiting for you to become the person worthy of it, and that means you must shed the habits that keep you small. You must let go of the things that waste your time. You must turn your back on anything that weakens your will. You must make room for greatness. Success does not yield itself to those who wish, or even those who try for a while. It comes only to those who are willing to pay its price in full and in advance. The first and most vital installment of that price is called discipline. Discipline is not a momentary act of will. It is a habit, a pattern, a lifestyle. It is the governing force that commands your actions when your emotions scream otherwise. Without discipline, even the most brilliant plans turn to dust. Without it, the strongest desires evaporate into thin air, and without it, the seeds of success die in the soil of inconsistency. Every man or woman who has reached a position of significance has done so by mastering themselves first. They were not born with some rare advantage. They did not have a secret map. What they had, what they built, was the ability to direct their own minds and bodies, even when they didn't feel like it. Discipline is the bridge between vision and reality. It is what separates those who only talk about goals from those who live them. It is the force that gets you out of bed before the sun rises. It is the whisper that says, "Keep going," when every bone in your body wants to quit. And it is the fire that burns quietly, day after day, as others waste their hours in idle comfort. You must train yourself to obey your own higher voice, not your moods, not your cravings, not the opinions of others. You must become the commander of your will, and the only way to do that is through deliberate, daily discipline, not once in a while, not when it's convenient, every single day, no matter the weather, no matter the weight of excuses. The man who possesses discipline does not need to rely on motivation. Motivation fades, discipline endures. He does not wait for opportunity. He creates it through his efforts. He does not wish for results. He commands them through repeated, focused action. And most importantly, he does not fear failure, for he understands that failure is but a teacher, and discipline is the tool that transforms setbacks into stepping stones. If your dream is large, and I believe it is, then understand this: your discipline must match the size of your ambition. To climb a high mountain, you must first become strong enough to carry the weight. That strength is built through small, consistent acts of discipline, waking up early, sticking to your commitments, doing the hard things even when no one is watching. The world does not reward wishers. It does not yield to the undisciplined, but it will always bend to the will of a man or woman who governs themselves with unyielding discipline. For that person there are no limits, only destinations waiting to be reached. Every man is given a choice. He can live for comfort, or he can live for greatness, but he cannot have both. There is no success without sacrifice, and the greater your dream, the greater the sacrifice it demands. The man who seeks to rise above the ordinary must first separate himself from the habits of the ordinary, and that separation comes with cost. It is not measured in dollars or gold, but in late nights, in early mornings, in moments of silence when others are laughing. You must give up the life you know to gain the life you desire. This is the price of progress. Success is never given freely. It requires an offering, a part of yourself. It demands that you surrender what is easy, what is safe, what is familiar. The man who clings to comfort will never grasp greatness because his hands are already full. He cannot hold both. Ask yourself this: what are you willing to give up? Are you willing to part with distractions? Are you willing to be misunderstood? Are you willing to be alone with your work when others chase pleasure? Until the answer is yes, your dream will remain only that a dream. Every great achievement is written in the ink of sacrifice. The inventor burns through countless failures and lonely hours before a breakthrough ever arrives. The leader carries burdens no one sees. The artist labors in obscurity while the world remains blind to their vision. But through it all they endure, because their desire is stronger than their comfort. There is no shortcut around sacrifice. Every shortcut is a lie. You may see a man rise quickly, but if he has not paid the price, he will fall just as fast. Only sacrifice builds strength that lasts. Only sacrifice builds character deep enough to carry great success. To achieve something you've never had, you must become someone you've never been, and to become someone new, something old must die. The old habits, the old excuses, the old stories you told yourself about what you're capable of, these must be sacrificed on the altar of ambition. Sacrifice is not loss, it is investment. When you give up something of lesser value for something greater, you are not losing. You are preparing, you are planting the seeds of your own transformation, and in time the harvest will be yours, if you remain faithful to the work and fearless in your sacrifices. Do not fear the cost. Fear the regret of never knowing what you could have become. There will come a day when your discipline pays you back, but there is no return without the initial offering. So pay the price, make the sacrifice. For on the other side of discomfort lies the life you were meant to live. There is no mountain higher, no enemy fiercer, no barrier stronger than the one that resides within your own mind. The greatest victory any man or woman can achieve is not over others, it is over self. You may conquer nations, build empires, and amass fortunes, but if you cannot govern your own thoughts, your own habits, your own emotions, then you are no more than a leaf in the wind, tossed by every change of mood, every storm of circumstance. Self-mastery is the root from which all other success grows. It is the throne from which you command your life. Without it, you are a servant to your impulses, a slave to your fears, but with it, you become unstoppable. Understand this. The world outside will always challenge you. Circumstances will shift. People will doubt you. Failure will knock on your door. But none of these things have power over you unless you allow them to. The power lies within. It always has. The man who controls himself does not react. He responds. He does not panic. He plans. He does not chase temporary pleasures. He pursues lasting purpose. And he does all of this not because it is easy, but because he has made a decision to rule his life rather than be ruled by it. Mastering yourself means mastering your time, your focus, your emotions. It means saying no when everything inside you cries yes. It means standing still when others run and moving forward when others freeze. It means doing what must be done, whether you feel like it or not. Your mind is both the battleground and the weapon. Your thoughts shape your destiny. If your mind is filled with doubt, fear, procrastination, or anger, it will reflect in your results. But if it is fed with courage, clarity, and conviction, your path will light up even in the darkest night. You must become the gatekeeper of your own mind. Do not allow every emotion, every opinion, every distraction to enter. Guard your thoughts as a soldier guards a fortress. What enters your mind shapes your future. The one who masters himself has no fear of failure, for he sees failure as a lesson. He has no fear of rejection, for he knows his worth is not defined by others. He has no fear of hard times, for he has trained himself to thrive under pressure. If you seek to rise, begin not with the world around you, but with the world within you. Conquer that, and there is nothing outside that can stop you. Remember, no enemy outside can do more harm than the enemy within, and no power outside can give you more strength than the one you awaken inside. Self-mastery is not the final step, it is the first, for once you have mastered yourself, everything else bends to your will. Man was not designed for stagnation. Nature reveals this truth with absolute certainty. Anything that does not grow begins to die. Yet countless individuals capable of greatness remain trapped in a slow decay because they have made one tragic mistake. They have fallen in love with comfort. Comfort whispers lies. It tells you that rest is more valuable than effort. It promises safety while stealing your strength. It offers ease while robbing your edge. And worst of all, it convinces you that this is good enough, that you need not stretch further, that you need not climb higher. But the truth is this: comfort is the silent killer of potential. It dulls your ambition, it sedates your hunger, it removes the urgency that fuels creation and turns lions into house cat, tame, quiet, predictable. Growth begins the moment comfort ends. The man who chooses discomfort, who willingly steps into the unknown, into challenge, into difficulty, is the man who begins to tap into the deeper powers of his nature. It is through the fire of resistance that strength is forged. It is by lifting burdens that we build capacity. No man becomes great in the absence of pressure. No woman evolves by staying where it is easy. Look to the great builders of this world, the leaders, the inventors, the pioneers. Not one of them achieved greatness by remaining in their comfort zone. They were willing to leave what was familiar. They were willing to be uncomfortable, uncertain, even afraid, because they knew that on the other side of struggle lies the reward. Comfort does not demand courage, it requires nothing, it asks only that you stay the same. But greatness demands that you stretch, that you dare, that you face the pain of progress with boldness and resolve. Now understand this clearly: discomfort is not your enemy, it is your teacher. Every moment you resist the temptation to retreat back into ease, you grow. Every time you push beyond what you thought was your limit, you evolve. The man who avoids discomfort avoids development. The man who embraces it transforms. Do not seek a life of comfort, seek a life of consequence. A life of meaning, and meaning is never found in what is easy. It is found in struggle, in service, in sacrifice. It is found when you go further than you thought you could. When you feel fear, lean in. When the work is hard, dig deeper. When your mind says stop, take one more step. That is where the breakthrough lies, not in the warm glow of comfort, but in the furnace of discipline, effort, and pain willingly endured. You must decide, will you trade your potential for comfort, or will you trade your comfort for greatness, because you cannot have both? Every day you are presented with a simple but profound choice: the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. One is sharp but brief, the other is silent at first, but grows heavier with time. The tragedy is that most people choose the path that seems easier in the moment, and by doing so, they condemn themselves to a lifetime of wondering what could have been. Discipline is uncomfortable. It demands that you rise when you would rather sleep. It requires that you say no to temptations that promise quick pleasure but deliver long-term decay. Discipline means training your body, your mind, your habit, even when no one is watching, even when no applause follows. It's not easy, it's not glamorous, but it is necessary. Why? Because discipline builds something no shortcut ever could: character. And character is the foundation of all lasting success. The rewards of discipline are not always instant, but they are always inevitable. You may not see the harvest today, but keep planting, keep watering, and the fruit will come. Now compare this to regret. The bitter poison of dreams unfulfilled, of time wasted, of potential never realized. Regret is the voice that haunts you in the quiet hours. It is the weight that presses down as you remember chances not taken, goals not pursued, greatness abandoned in exchange for comfort. Regret is cruel because it does not come all at once. It arrives slowly, quietly. It hides behind excuses and distractions, but make no mistake, it is always coming for those who run from responsibility, who choose the easy way, who betray their own dreams. The truth no one likes to hear is this: you will suffer either way. You will suffer the discipline of daily effort, or you will suffer the sorrow of knowing you gave up on yourself. The first kind of suffering makes you stronger. The second breaks you down. A few missed workouts turn into years of poor health. A few ignored ideas turn into a lifetime of mediocre work. A few moments of laziness become decades of stagnation. And in the end, it is not the world that holds you back. It is your own refusal to embrace the pain that leads to progress. The pain of discipline is temporary. It passes, it becomes routine, and eventually it becomes power. But the pain of regret, that pain stays, it lingers, it echoes, and it asks the most painful question of all: what if I had tried? So, do not wait for the perfect time. Do not wait for inspiration to strike. Begin now, take control. Discipline yourself while you still have time to build something meaningful, because one day the window will close. And when that day comes, may you look back not with regret, but with pride, knowing you paid the price, endured the pain, and claimed the reward that only discipline can deliver. A dream is not granted by mere wishing. It is not handed out by chance, nor stumbled upon by luck. A dream is a sacred vision, and like all things of great value, it must be earned, not with words, not with fleeting excitement, but with action, sacrifice, and personal transformation. Your dream is a reflection of your highest potential, but potential alone means nothing. It is only the possibility of power. Possibility must be turned into reality, and that reality requires one thing above all: that you become the kind of person who is worthy of the dream you seek. The man who desires a great destiny must first take a long, honest look in the mirror. He must ask himself, am I becoming the person my dream demands? For no vision, no goal, no achievement will ever rise higher than the person who carries it. If your character is weak, your dream will collapse under its own weight. If your habits are poor, no opportunity will stay in your hands. You must become stronger than your excuses. You must become greater than your fears. You must become so focused, so disciplined, so determined that nothing, not fatigue, not failure, not rejection, can pull you away from your path. A farmer must first prepare the soil before planting the seed. The soil is you, your mindset, your habits, your decisions. If the soil is not ready, the seed will never grow. The dream is waiting, yes, but it waits for the right version of you. It waits for the version that has done the work, paid the price, and proved, through consistent effort, that he is ready to receive. Do not ask when the dream will come true. Ask instead, how much more must I grow to deserve it? Do not chase results, chase transformation. Chase the habits, the discipline, the learning, the resilience that makes you stronger than the struggle. The world does not give what you want, it gives what you earn. And you earn it by becoming more, by thinking greater thoughts, making better decisions, and standing firm when others fall. You cannot fake this process. You cannot cheat your way to significance. Every shortcut taken becomes a future lesson in humility. Every effort avoided becomes a future obstacle on your path. But every step taken in growth, in discipline, in integrity, those steps form the bridge to your dream. Your dream is not hiding from you, it's waiting for you. Waiting for the version of you who refuses to settle, who rises early and stays late, who sharpens his mind and strengthens his will. That version of you, the one built through trials and tempered by fire, is the only one who can hold the weight of the dream and carry it to completion. So build yourself, become worthy, and when the time is right, the dream will meet you, because it belongs to the person you've become,